Welcome everybody.
Hello, Prof.
Hello, Prof.
What's game theory? And what are its applications? Game theory isn't only about games, because despite its name, it's not limited to studying the problem of games. Game theory is a fascinating field of applied mathematics, which studies the strategic interactions between different agents, often called players. It offers a formal framework to analyze decisions made, or those that we're going to take, in situations where the results depend not only on one's own choices, but also on those of others. Game theory has applications in many domains: economics, social sciences, political sciences, biology, computer science, sports to evaluate the probabilities of winning, and in games of chance too.
Game theory, although rooted in mathematics and its applications, particularly to economics, is deeply influenced by psychology. This discipline, which studies mental processes and human behaviors, brings essential nuances to the analysis of strategic interactions. Indeed, it studies strategic decisions between actors interacting in a common environment. Each actor or player chooses actions by trying to maximize their gains or minimize their losses. This is particularly useful for understanding and predicting behavior in situations where each person's choices depend on the choices of others. Our decisions are influenced by emotions. Fear, anger, joy can alter our judgment and push us to make suboptimal decisions. Cognitive biases. Bias such as confirmation bias, tendency to seek information that confirms our beliefs, or anchoring bias, tendency to rely excessively on the first piece of information received, can distort our reasoning and therefore decision-making. Social norms. Social rules, values, and beliefs influence our choices and can lead us to cooperate or defect in certain situations. Reciprocity. Humans have a strong tendency to reciprocate whether good or bad, which can change game dynamics, and therefore economic results, for example.
The applications of game theory models are found in analysis of markets, negotiations, public or private economic policies, study of human behavior in social and political interactions, analysis of conflicts, alliances, collective decision-making processes, and elections, modeling of biological evolution, competition between species and their cooperation, design of algorithms in computer science, communication protocols, and artificial intelligence. Game theory uses a variety of models to represent strategic situations. Here are two illustrative examples. Zero-sum games where the gain of one player is exactly equal to the loss of the other. For example, if we define the gain of a chess game as 1 if we win, 0 if the game is drawn, and -1 if we lose, the game of chess is a zero-sum game. In economics, this notion is important. Zero-sum games correspond to the absence of wealth creation. Therefore, the enrichment of my neighbor results in my own impoverishment. This is found in protectionism, which opposes the theory of comparative advantage and laissez-faire, that is to say, the freedom of movement of goods, services, and capital. This was also found in archaic economic systems before bank financing of the economy.
Non-zero-sum games, where the player's gains do not necessarily cancel each other out. This is often illustrated by the prisoner's dilemma. The prisoner's dilemma is a theoretical situation in game theory where two individuals involved in the same case, unable to communicate, must choose between betraying their accomplice or not betraying. The police do not have enough evidence to sentence them to heavy sentences, offer them a deal. If both betray each other, they receive a moderate punishment, for example, a sentence of 4 years in prison. If only one betrays, he is rewarded. He will be sentenced, for example, to 1 month in prison, and the other severely punished. He will be sentenced to 7 years in prison, for example. If they do not betray each other, they cooperate with each other without knowing it, both are punished but with a reduced sentence compared to the seriousness of the case, for example, a sentence of 2 years in prison. Why it is a dilemma? Each individual is tempted to betray the other to escape or minimize his own punishment. But not knowing what the other will do, if both betray at the same time, the situation is worse for both than if they remain silent. The inability to communicate and trust each other often pushes towards betrayal in such situations.
This concept in the prisoner's dilemma, seemingly simple, has implications far beyond the interrogation room. It can model many real-world situations. Economic competition. Two firms may be tempted to lower their prices to gain market share, even if this may result in lower profits for both. International negotiations. Countries may be tempted to break international agreements if they believe that other countries will not either. Interpersonal relationships. In a relationship, each party may be tempted to put their own interests first, even if this may harm the relationship as a whole. To find the best strategy in game theory, the Nash equilibrium is often used. A Nash equilibrium is a situation where each player correctly predicts the choice of the others. Each player maximizes their payoff given this prediction. In the prisoner's dilemma model, the Nash equilibrium is generally reached when both players choose to betray. Indeed, if one cooperates and the other betrays, the traitor is better off. Thus, each has an interest in betraying, even if the best situation for both would be to cooperate. But there is no communication between the two prisoners for an agreement.
In summary, the prisoner's dilemma shows us how rational individual choices can lead to suboptimal collective outcomes. It highlights the importance of cooperation and trust in human interactions. The prisoner's dilemma illustrates the difficulty of cooperating in situations where individual interest may conflict with collective interest. It shows us that trust, communication, and clear rules of the game are essential to foster economic cooperation in pricing strategy, product placement, portfolio management, financial games, and negotiations. Game theory is a powerful tool for analyzing and understanding situations where the decisions of one individual have an impact on others, where the outcomes depend on the choices of all. The scientist who discovered and developed the concept of Nash equilibrium is John Nash Jr., an American mathematician and economist. His groundbreaking work in the field of game theory laid the foundations for this fundamental notion. For his major contributions to game theory, John Nash was awarded the Nobel Prize in Economics in 1994. His work has had a profound impact on many fields, from economics to biology to politics and sociology.
Thanks for watching this video until the end, and see you soon in another topic.